Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. And yes, who else is excited for daylight savings, especially if you're in Arizona? We just lost an additional hour of sleep. So I will be seeing you guys tomorrow at Market Open for the live trading session. Well, actually, I have a flight to catch from LA to Phoenix, so that's actually going to be a little bit delayed. So maybe not the best time to say that. But I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. Please let me know when it is that I am live. It says still offline. Let me just double check. If you can see this live stream, I want you to comment so I can see your chat, or so you can see yourself on this live stream. So we have a couple people posting everything in the ticker call out format. I pinned that post. So we got Tyler saying that it's live. What's going on, Tyler? What's going on, Hamid? What's up? What's up, Sam, Carl, Alex? Let's see who else we have here. We got a couple Tylers. Emilio. We got Jake, Acacia Hunt. How you doing? Great to have you here. Scott, Mike, Manny, Nate, Alex. We got too many Alexes in here. We got Chris, John, Miss, Valerie, Zach, Nick, Jordan. Here we go. We are live. So I don't want to take too much of your guys' time on this Sunday, right? Let's keep this super short and sweet. What I want to talk about is the top 10 stocks that you guys see value in. And if you want me to break down your stock, that literally means all you have to do is, just like Manuel, he posted it in the ticker call out format, just so I know that you've taken some time to do your own due diligence for your own good and plan out your trade, right? So that's a step in the right direction, and I'd be more than happy to break this one down. And this one's ticker symbol U. One of the things that I do want to talk about right before we get started is right after you guys drop a like on this video, right? So right after you do that, because I know you guys are all just super anxious to do that. What I want to talk about is the overall NASDAQ market is up about 0.5%, which is a great indication for a green start to the week, especially if you are invested in any tech stock. So that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. Please make sure you keep a close eye on /NQ or the overall NASDAQ future. As long as it continues to remain bullish, then that should mean that the overall market should open up back in the green, which is something that I'm very excited for. If you guys look at this on the 180-day 4-hour time frame, we're still trying to hold above the EMA line, but we're still trading below the SMA line, so something that we have to follow up with. So we got ticker symbol U, which is what was suggested as of right now. It was previously bullish, but it's been making some lower lows and lower highs. As of right now, it is holding above the EMA line, but it looks a little bit more on the overbought side where it can definitely pull on back. And the reason that I say that is every time that it's broken above the EMA line, it sells right back off. And although we have been trading above the EMA line, it's still trading below the SMA line, just like we know before. Because it's been so consistently bearish, I would just be more skeptical on the idea of it actually beginning to indicate signs of an uptrend rather than hoping and at least preparing for some form of pullback or overall reversal. So just make sure that you understand that there's two sides to every opportunity. You set alerts. If it begins to make higher highs, then great, you can follow up with it. But if it begins to break below the EMA line on the 4-hour time frame, then at least you can move away from it. So let's go ahead and move on to this next one. So this one's ticker symbol PLTR, which is a very popular one. This is Palantir. What the heck just happened? So let me remove that one. Remove that one. Looks like some of the ones from last week just popped up. Nice little, oh, there it goes, happening once again. My apologies. Here it goes, but it looks like we did break down Palantir last week, so we're just going to have to follow up with it as of right now. Here it goes. So Palantir on the 180-day 4-hour time frame, it is trading above the EMA line. And one of the things that I like that we are showing as of right now is that it is testing the resistance level that it previously got rejected at. And we're going to be seeing if we actually begin to, make more or show more continuous signs of an overall uptrend. I think that we can all agree that a lot of tech stocks, especially recently, have just been consistently bearish. So it's nice to see that some are trying to recover. But of course, there's a lot of time that is needed for this form of confirmation, but Palantir already looks like it's on its way. So I already have my series of alerts set up right on over here, right around $28. So once we break above $28 and once we break above $29.50 and around that $30 price point, I think that this can be a better indication of when Palantir actually begin to become consistently bullish is something that we can follow up with. So let's go ahead and break down another one. So we got ticker symbol GE from Jesse. So ticker symbol GE, which is General Electric, on the 180-day 4-hour time frame. Out of all the stocks that we've broken down so far, this has to be one of my favorite ones, and the reason why is because it's so consistently bullish. Like we know, there's no such thing as being able to making money in the stock market is definitely not easy, right? But it's so much easier when the overall direction is in your favor. And due to recent pullbacks on ticker symbol GE from where we're as of right now to previous highs, it's not that it offers crazy returns, but 15% potential for an overall recovery. It's up to you guys, right? If you see value in these overall reversals, these are some of the setups that I personally like to trade in, are one of my favorites. So I'm really happy that you brought this up. But just like we know, there's two sides to every opportunity. So make sure that you take into consideration that it can definitely pull on back and get rejected from that EMA line and break below the SMA line. Although it doesn't normally do that, it can definitely do that as patterns tend to repeat themselves, but they don't always have to. So I set my alerts on that one, and ticker symbol GE has to be my favorite one that has been suggested as of right now. So next one is from Justin Da Silva, and it's ticker symbol PEP. So ticker symbol PEP as of right now on the 180-day 4-hour time frame. We can see that it's testing the SMA line. It's been making lower lows and lower highs as well. It looks a little bit more on the overbought side where we can definitely pull on back. So because this one's at such a critical point where it's been getting rejected by this SMA line on the 4-hour time frame before, that's one of the things that I just need you to take into consideration. Instead of just always being so hopeful that no, this is the time, that it's actually going to begin to pick back up, be at least more open-minded that what's been more consistently bearish than it has been bullish. So if anything, it would make more sense that it would pull on back before it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend. But again, only time will tell. So let's go ahead and set the alerts on both sides. If it breaks above the SMA line, then great, we can follow up with it. If it breaks back below to these support levels, then maybe you can follow up with it and see if you can buy it for a better deal. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Ticker symbol MA. What's going on, Cooper? So ticker symbol MA as of right now. Ticker symbol MA is super overbought. So one of the things that I like that you're talking about is you're at least focusing your time and attention on stocks that are consistently bullish, right? This thing just recently hit 180-day highs at 389. But one of the things that I really like to focus on is, when talking about the top 10 stocks for this week, is this the best deal right now? Out of every stock that is out there, is this the best deal? Or would it make sense that based off previous patterns, when it becomes very overbought, right, that it pulls on back? So as it becomes overbought, does it make sense that it can pull on back? So if anything, I like how you're focusing on something that's bullish and that the overall direction is in your favor, but you just have to take into consideration that the upside does not outweigh the downside, and it's so overbought that it wouldn't really surprise me if it begins to pull on back. So because of that, I would just be very, very selective and watch out for a break of pattern if it begins to break below that overall EMA line. And I'm just going to set my alerts for these lower levels so I can buy for a better deal and then ride the recovery where the margin, in my opinion, would actually be worth it. So those were the top 5 so far. Let's go ahead and break down a couple more. What's going on, Brian? So LSPD. Let's go ahead and break that one down. So LSPD, previously consistently bullish, hit 180-day highs at $82.53. Looks like it hit overall lows of around $52, and it's been recovering ever since. Like we know before, old support levels can become new resistance levels, and the SMA line was a previous support level, and now it's acting as a new resistance level. So if it continues to remain bullish, then yes, 100% it makes sense on why you're still going to try to partake in it. But one of the things that you need to take into consideration is that it recently just hit lows. It's riding from a recovery, and now the RSI and the MACD look a little bit more on the overbought side. So I would just be very, very selective and very, very careful with your position size here, as we hope it begins to pick back up. But hope is a very, I would say, closed-minded way to approach the stock market, especially as it's been so consistently bearish lately. So just be on the lookout for a potential, pullback or overall break of pattern. And if it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, then maybe you can, follow up with it when it makes the most sense. So we got a lot of you in here today. A lot of you guys are posting your top stocks. So Sandy Pants, and we got Caillou. So Lemonade and Carvana, 2 of my favorite ones. Let's go ahead and break these down. So Carvana on the 180-day 4-hour time frame. The thing that I really like about what you did here is Carvana, if you guys don't know this, is one of the most valuable companies that's based in Arizona. And the reason I know that is because I'm in Arizona, and one of the wealthiest people, in Arizona, are the founder and the father of Carvana. So just, my kind of, I guess, random fact about Carvana. But overall, it's been very consistently bullish. You guys can see that it's been making higher highs and higher lows. Previous highs at $323. It recently pulled on back, which we actually talked about this one during our last Sunday stock talk. It's recovered a little bit over 17% already, and based off previous highs, it has a total of 34% to make as a full recovery. But from where we're at as of right now to previous highs, it's about 12% left that it has to approach previous highs. So if you believe in the company and it's something that you actually see value in and you find it that you can get it for a decent deal as of right now and sell it for a profit later, then great, so be it. But one of the things that you need to take into consideration is just from previous lows, don't be surprised, especially with all the choppiness that's going on with the market right now, if it does correct itself and pull on back. So just make sure you stay well balanced with your position size and you stay affected. So the next one is going to be Lemonade. And Lemonade has been one that I have personally been paying attention to. It was one that was previously consistently very bullish, right? It consolidated, it kind of just flatlined around these levels, overall lows of 140 and overall highs of around 180. And then that's where we began to make these lower highs and lower lows. And one of the things that I want to share with you is that it has consistently been making these lower highs. And I'm telling you this as someone that has been following Lemonade, for a while. If Lemonade actually begins to indicate signs of an actual recovery, making and showing signs of consistent higher highs and higher lows, just like it did here, then great. But that's definitely not the case. If anything, every time that it breaks above the EMA line on the 4-hour time frame, it sells right back off. And that is something that you need to be very careful about when it comes down to these, just real bull traps. As you guys could see that it has been trading above the EMA line, but it wouldn't really surprise me if it pulls on back and continues to sell right back off, especially it being a very heavily influenced tech stock. So we have quite a bit of you right here. We got Greg with ticker symbol RIDE. So RIDE. We have one more stock that we're going to be breaking down after this one. And if you guys want us to break down a couple of more, then all you need to do is drop a thumbs up. And I haven't looked at how many likes this video has yet, so maybe you guys can surprise me, and I'd love to break a couple more down for you guys. But this is ticker symbol RIDE, ticker symbol RIDE. And I do agree with you. Based off previous highs, right around 30, if anything, it can continue and more aggressively sell off. So instead of trying to predict the bottom of something, especially when it hasn't necessarily been going according to plan, try to do your part in staying effective, especially if you're under the PDT rule. I do agree with you that at around $12.40 based off previous support levels, that's where it bounced at before. We can hope that it bounces there again, or we can wait for confirmation. So it really comes down to whatever approach you personally want to take. I'm just going to set my alert here and try to stay well balanced. And from where we're at as of right now to previous highs, a very common resistance level right around $30 that offers nearly a 100% return. So let's see. So we got 262 likes. I thought we would have had actually a couple of more from what I would have anticipated if you guys wanted me to keep breaking a couple down. So let me go ahead and do one or two more, and then we'll call it a live stream just so we don't have to take too much of your guys' time. So here we go. Let's see who has it in the ticker call out format. So ticker call out format, here we go. We got ticker symbol NLY. So NLY, here we go. Okay, so the thing that I like about this is, again, it's consistently bullish. It's been making higher highs and higher lows as a very consistent pattern. So I agree with this one in the sense that, it's not anything that offers crazy returns, but it's super consistent. We just recently hit 180-day highs. So because of that, I wouldn't be like, oh man, this is the best deal right now, right? But because it's so consistent, I would set my alerts, wait for it to pull on back, present a decent opportunity with good margins, and then pick it up and ride the recovery right on back. And again, this thing tends to fluctuate within about 5% based off previous patterns. Let's go ahead and do one more just so I can so stop spamming long enough to hit that like button. There we go. So ticker symbol Fiverr, FVRR. Alrighty. Okay. I actually really like this one. I'm glad we'll end it with this one because I really like the setup on this. I think a lot of you guys can agree. I'll run through a couple stocks that I have on my watch list if that sounds okay with you guys. But this one, I like how consistently bullish it is. I think that we can all kind of see eye to eye on that it's just so much easier to make money in the market when the overall direction is in your favor, especially more quality companies, right? Fiverr recently sold off to overall lows of sub $200. It's been trying to recover. Like we know, old support levels, which is the SMA line, can become new resistance levels, which is again the SMA line. So a critical point is what we are approaching. Instead of trying to buy now and hope it breaks above it, let's just set our alerts. If it ends up getting rejected, then guess what? We can pick it up for a better deal at closer to the $200 price point rather than trying to predict the future, right? So let's set our alerts, follow up with it, and once it breaks above $200 based off previous highs, it still has so much more margin, guys. It has 30% if it were to make a full recovery. So if you're so certain for this thing to make a full recovery, let's wait for that proper confirmation and allow that opportunity to present itself. So one of the couple of stocks that I want to talk about as of right now, would I consider BABA to be a great investment right now? No, not necessarily. It's making lower lows, lower highs. It's not really indicating signs of an overall reversal. But one of the things that I like about it is because of all the negative news that it's going through, it is at a price point where I feel like if I buy now based off previous highs, it could end up paying off in the future. And of course, I personally don't think Alibaba is going anywhere. If you guys know, it's pretty much that, Amazon, in a sense, China tech giant that is based in China. And there's just been a lot of controversy with their previous CEO, which is Jack Ma, if you guys are aware of them. So Lulu is also one that I've been personally paying attention to. As of right now, I'm still getting rejected by the SMA line, making lower lows, lower highs. And if anything, it looks a little bit more on the overbought side. Just make sure you take that into consideration. One I'm very excited to follow up with, and I'm sure you guys are kind of just annoyed is Tesla. So Tesla, one of the things that I do want to share with you guys is Tesla is at a critical point right now. If we break below the EMA line on the 4-hour time frame, that can lead to a significant drop. So although I'm invested in Tesla, I'm never here just to talk about all the great things about it. I always want you guys to take into consideration the risk involved and how it can actually play out. So we can hope that it holds above the EMA line and that it begins to make higher highs and higher lows, but I would not be surprised if it breaks below the EMA line and then begins to aggressively drop to previous support levels and go back down to that $600 price point. And the reason that I'm saying this is, well, Ricky, why would you be saying this if you're invested in Tesla? Because regardless of my decision to invest in it, I want to make sure that you prepare yourself. No one can predict the future, but what we can do is prepare for it. So as long as you're aware of the potential that it has to drop, you can maybe then at least balance out that position size. So if it does end up pulling back, you don't become an emotional mess. And that's the whole point of me, having these couple of comments. QCOM still selling off, lower lows, lower highs, nothing fancy to see there. SQQQ, a lot of you guys know about this one. SQQQ goes up when the overall market goes down. So that's why I have it on my watch list. KR, which is Kroger, has been showing signs of higher highs and higher lows. This is one that I've been paying attention to since it reported earnings and sold off to $32, and it's been picking up ever since. It's not anything that offers crazy return, but I just thought that 10% margin would make sense. GoPro is one that I've been personally invested in. It's not one that I have a crazy amount of money in, but because it dropped significantly, what a beautiful reversal, huh? So from where I decided to buy at an average purchase price of $8 a share, it began to really pick back up, and we're at around $11 a share. And as you guys could see, I didn't approach it in a super aggressive way. And that's the amazing thing about the stock market, is that you get to decide what stocks you decide to invest in and trade, and as well as the amount of buying power behind those opportunities and positions. AMC, GME did an absolute amazing job. Congrats to all those that made a killing off of it. All I want to remind you is make sure you do your part in staying well balanced, staying effective, and not being afraid to lock in profits when it makes sense to you and not other people, right? The last one that I want to talk about out of every stock in my watch list is Shopify. I talked about this, especially if you're part of the Learn Plan Profit Group. It is super oversold. You can ask yourself a very simple question of where you think Shopify is going in the near future. Just tech has been getting beaten up so bad for the past 2 to 3 weeks, but from where we're at as right now to previous highs, 31% potential. I think it's a really good deal. I'm deciding to take small position sizes on this one, and I will only add more once and if it begins to indicate signs of an uptrend. But I 100% do agree it is a pricier stock, so I understand why a lot of you or some of you might not be the most attracted to this one. So I just wanted to share my 2 cents with that one. But that's really just it. I appreciate you guys' time. I hope that we earned your thumbs up in this video. Friendly reminder, we did go through daylight savings last night. So if you're in Arizona, you lost an hour of sleep. I will see you tomorrow for the live trading session. If you guys want to join us, click the second link in the description to join us at Market Open for the live trading session. And if you're not ready and you want to join a free group, we have our TechBot Solutions group. It's a free Facebook group with over 309,000 members, and that's that first link in the description. I hope that we earned your thumbs up in this video. Thank you guys for your time. Hope you can consider subscribing, and like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy.